Hello everyone, my name is Komala Arswamy and I am studying in Arvind International Residential School, State Board HS3D section. Due to COVID-19, teachers had started online classes for us. It is going very successfully and all are attending the classes. I thank all the teachers who are the part of Arvind International School and online classes. Especially, I thank my science teacher who gave me this opportunity to do this. Today, I am here to summarize the topics of topic transportation. What is transportation? Transportation is the process by which food and oxygen is carried from one organ to the other organs in the body. There is a need of transportation in the human body because intake of food and oxygen are taken up at one place in the body of organisms while all parts of the body need them. So there is a need for transportation system for carrying food and oxygen from one place to another in the body. Then blood plasma. The blood consists of fluid medium called plasma. It transports food, carbon dioxide, nitrogenous waste in dissolved form. Next, let's learn about the chambers in heart. Why there are chambers in heart? Oxygen and carbon dioxide have to be transported by blood to prevent oxygen rich blood from mixing with blood containing carbon dioxide. So there are chambers in our heart. Then why there is no mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood? Due to the presence of interventricular septum. This divide ventricle into right and left to avoid mixing of blood. And also why it is necessary to separate oxygenated and deoxygenated blood in mammals and birds also to provide high oxygen supply to the organs. This is useful in animals that have high energy needs such as birds and mammals which constantly use energy to maintain their body temperature. Why the ventricles have thicker walls? Ventricles have to pump blood into various organs, so they have muscular walls than atria. Let's learn about the transport system in amphibians and reptiles. In the body of amphibians and reptiles, the temperature depends on the temperature in the environment. And also, they have three chambers, hearts, and some mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood streams. And also, we can learn about the transport system in fish. The fish have only two chambers to their hearts. Blood is pumped to gills for getting oxygenated. Then it passes directly to the rest of the body. Blood goes only once through heart in fish during one cycle of passage through body. And there are two circulations in the human body. They are single circulation and double circulation. Single circulation, the type of circulation in which blood flows through heart only once, is known as single circulation. Double circulation, the type of circulation which blood flows through heart twice during each in the human body, is known as double circulation. Then what are the advantages of double circulation in humans? Double circulation is useful to keep oxygenated and deoxygenated blood for mixing, separating allows a high efficient supply of oxygen to the body. This helps human beings to maintain constant temperature. Then what are the components of transport system? There are three components of transport system. They are heart, blood and blood vessels. Let's learn in detail about components of transport system. Heart pumps oxygenated blood throughout the body. It receives deoxygenated blood from various body parts and sends this impure blood to lungs for oxygenation. And blood helps in transport of oxygen nutrients, carbon dioxide and nitrogenous waste. And also, the blood vessels carry blood either away from the heart to various organs or from various organs back to heart. I already said that there are four chambers in our heart. They are left auricle, right auricle, left ventricle, and right ventricle. In our heart, there will be valves present between left atrium and left ventricle and right atrium and right ventricle. Allow the flow of blood only in one direction and prevent backflow of blood for ventricle to atrium at the time of ventricular contraction. Let's learn about systole and diastole. The concentration of heart is known as systole and the relaxation of heart is known as diastole. Systolic pressure. The pressure of blood inside the artery during ventricular systole is known as systolic pressure. And also the pressure of blood inside the artery during ventricular diastole is known as diastolic pressure. Then what is hypertension and its effects? If blood pressure is higher than normal blood pressure, it can lead to rupture of artery and internal bleeding. And it is caused by the concentration of arteries which results in increased resistance of blood flow. And capillaries. Arteries. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from heart to various organs of the body. They have thick and elastic walls and they do not have valves. Next, veins. They carry deoxygenated blood from various organs to the heart. They are thin walled. They have valves to ensure that blood flows only in one direction. Next, capillaries. It exchange the materials between blood and surrounding cells take place in the capillaries. They are thin-walled and extremely narrow tubes or blood vessels which connect arteries to veins and they do not have valves. Next, how the transportation in plants takes place? Water and minerals transportation. The components of xylem tissue of roots, stem, leaves are interconnected to form a continuous system of water conducting canals that reaches all the part of plant. Transportation creates a suction pressure as a result of which water is forced into xylem cells of roots. Then there is a steady movement of water from roots xylem to all plant parts through the interconnected. Next, how the food transport in plants takes place. Phloem phloem transports food materials from different parts of the plant body. Transportation of food in phloem is achieved by utilizing energy from the ATP as the result of this osmotic pressure in tissue increasing causing water to move into it. Now I am differentiating between xylem and phloem. Xylem. It helps in transport of water and minerals. Phloem. Phloem helps in transport of food. Xylem. The water is transported upwards from roots to all other plant parts. Phloem. Food is transported in both upward and downward direction. Xylem. Transport in xylem occurs with the help of simple physical forces such as transpiration pull. Phloem. Transport of food in phloem requires energy in ATP. Why the plants have slow transport system? Plants have low energy needs so they have use relativity slow transport systems. The distance over which transport system have to operate can be very large in plants such as very tall trees. How the water move in plants? At the root, the cells in contact with the soil actively take up the ions. creates difference in concentration of ions between the root and soil. Water moves into roots from soil to climate this difference. There is a steady movement of water into root xylem, creating a column of water that is steadily pushed upwards. Next we learn about transpiration. The loss of water in the form of vapor from aerial parts of plant is known as transpiration. Is transpiration necessary evil? It is a process of which land plants lose water and absorb large amount of water and lose most of water by transpiration. It helps in absorbing upwards movement of water and dissolved material salts to leaves. Then what is the importance of root pressure? The effect of root pressure in transport of water is more important at night. During day when stomata are open, the transpiration pull becomes major driving force in movement of water in xylem. Then what is translocation? The transport of soluble products of synthesis is known as translocation. It occurs through the phloem. How does translocation takes place? Translocation of food and other substance take place with the help of adjacent companion cells both in upward and downward directions. Translocation in phloem is achieved by utilizing energy. Materials like sucrose is transferred into phloem tissue using energy from ATP. This allows phloem to move materials according to plant's need. Up to now, we learnt about transportation. Now I am going to start the second part, that is excretion. What is excretion? The biological process involved in removal of the harmful metabolic waste from the body is known as the excretion. Why there is a need for excretory system in multicellular organism? When chemical reacts use carbon source and oxygen for energy generation created by products that are not only useless for cells of body also be harmful. Now let's learn about human excretory system. Excretory system of human beings includes a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, a urinary bladder and urethra. The wastes are secreted by the kidneys. How means the nitrogenous waste such as urea and uric acid are removed from blood to kidney. Then what is nephron? It is also known as the structural functional unit of kidney. Large number of filtration units packed close together is known as nephrons. Then what is the structure of nephron? Basic filtering units of kidneys. Each kidney possesses large number of nephrons. The main components of nephron are glomerulus, Bowman's capsule and long renal tube. What is glomerulus? A branch of artery enters the Bowman's capsule, breaks to form a network of capillaries is known as glomerulus. Then, what are the stages of urine formation? There are three stages of urine formation. They are glomerulus filtration, tubular reabsorption, tubular secretion. Then, what is Bowman's capsule? It is a cup-like sac at being of tubular components of nephron in human kidney. Is glomerular filtration the process in filtering of such like glucose, amino acids, salts and water from blood takes place when blood flows at high pressure into Bowman's capsule. It is known as glomerular filtration. And what is selective reabsorption? The process in which useful and essential constituents like water, glucose, amino acids and salts from glomerular filtration are reabsorbed back into blood is known as selective reabsorption. Now let's learn in detail about urine formation. Nephrons are made up of cluster of thin-walled capillaries called glomerulus, which is associated with cup-like structure called Bowman's capsule and long tube which terminates through this capsule. The renal artery bring oxygenated blood to kidney along nitrogen waste like urea and uric acid and many other substances. Blood get filtered through glomerulus and this filtrate enters tubular part of nephron. This filtrate moves down tubular part, glucose, amino acids, salts and excess of water gets selectively reabsorbed by blood vessels surrounding these tubules. And fluid flowing in tubular part is urine which gets collected in collecting of nephron. This is how the urine formation will takes place. Then why is urine stored in urinary bladder? Until the pressure of expanded bladder leads urine to pass it out through the urethra. Now let's know about artificial kidney and dialysis. Artificial kidney is a device to remove nitrogenous waste products from blood through dialysis. What is dialysis? It is the process used in artificial kidney to remove nitrogenous waste from the body. So, this is how I revise the topics of transportation and excretion in the human body. I thank once again to my science teacher Chetan sir to giving this opportunity. Thank you all.